Hello everyone, my name is Sally. Welcome back to my video. Today is day 10 of my reading challenge. The science of how habits work. The process of building a habit can be divided into 4 simple steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. Breaking it down into these fundamental parts can help us understand what a habit is, how it works, and how to improve it. This four-step pattern is the backbone of every habit, and your brain runs through these steps in the same order each time. First, there is the cue. The cue triggers the brain to initiate a behavior. It's a bit of information, bit of information that breeds a reward. Our prehistoric ancestors were paying attention to cues that signaled the location of primary rewards like food, water, and sex. Today, we spend most of our time learning cues that predict secondary rewards like money and fame, power and status, praise and approval, love and friendship, or our sense of personal satisfaction. Of course, this pursuit also indirectly improve our odds of survival and reproduction, which is the deeper motive behind everything we do. Your mind is continuously analyzing your internal and external environment from hints of where rewards are located. Because the cue is the first indication that we close to the reward, it naturally leads to the craving. Cravings are the second step, and they are the motivation for behind every habit. Without some level of motivation or desire, without craving a change, we have no reason to act. What you crave is not the habit itself, but the change in state it delivers. You do not crave smoking a cigarette. You crave the feeling of relief is provided. You are not motivated by brushing br- you are not motivated by brushing your teeth, but rather by the feeling feeling with clean mouth. You do not want to turn on the television. You want to be entertained. Every craving is linked to a desire to change your internal state. This is an important point that we will discuss in detail later. Craving differs from person to person. In theory, any piece of information could trigger rate craving, but in practice, people are but in practice, people are not motivated by the same cues. For example, the sound of slot machines can be potent trigger that sparks an intense wave of For desire for someone who rarely gambles, the jingles and chimes of the casino are just background noise. Cues are meaningless until they are interpreted. The thoughts, feelings, and emotions observed the thoughts, feelings, and emotions observed are what transform a cue into craving. The third step is the response. This response is actual habit you perform, which can take the form of the thought or an action. Whether a response occurs depends on how motivated you are. Depends on how motivated you are and how much friction is associated with the behavior. If a particular action requires more physical or mental effort than you are willing to spend, then you won't do it. Your response also depends. Nó cứ bị rời rời á. Your response also depends on your ability. It sounds simple, but a habit can occur only if you are capable of doing it. If you want to done a basketball but can jump high enough to reach the hoop, well, you're out of luck. Finally, the response delivers a reward. Rewards are the end of the goal of every habit. The cue is about noticing the reward. The craving is about wanting to reward. The response is about obtaining the reward. We chase rewards because they serve to purpose. They satisfy us and they teach us. The first purpose of reward is to satisfy your craving. Yes, rewards provide benefits on their own. Food and water deliver the energy you need to survive. Getting a promotion brings more money and respect. Getting a shape improves your health and your dating prospects. But the more immediate benefits is that rewards satisfy your craving to eat or to gain status or to win approval. At least for a moment, rewards deliver contentment and relief from craving. Second, rewards teach us which actions are worth remembering in the future. Your brain is a reward detector. As you about your life, your sensory nervous system is continually monitoring which actions satisfy your desires and deliver pleasure. Feelings of pleasure and disappointment are part of the feedback mechanism that have your brain distinguish useful action from useless ones. Feelings of pleasure and disappointment are part of the feedback mechanism that have your brain distinguish useful action from useless ones. Rewards close to the feedback loop and complete the habit cycle. If a behavior is insufficient in any of the four stages, it will not become a habit. Eliminate the cue and your habit will never start. Reduce the craving and you won't experience enough motivation to ask. Make the behavior difficult and you won't be able to do that. And if your work fails to satisfy your desire, then you'll have no reason to do it again in the future. Without the first three steps, a behavior will not occur. Without all four, a behavior will not be respected. Thanks for listening.